Okay.
Good
Uh, good,
morning, good morning, family. We're
good
back.
morning. Welcome.
How you doing? What's going on?
How does it get even better, Ben? What else is possible today that we never knew was possible yet? How are you doing? You look so handsome today, huh?
Thank you. I got a lot of haircuts, and I'm doing really well. I'm a little frazzled. Our band
Okay.
is our band is on tour, and we're all working from home, and there's a lot of moving parts, and
Wow.
everyone's there's a lot of energy, and it just kept coming up this week about protecting my peace because I'm around a lot of people. Like 12
Mhm.
more people are coming in town tonight. We're playing our biggest
Ooh.
show ever. My biggest show ever is as a musician
Yeah.
in front of hundreds, if not thousands, of people Thursday and Sunday at this Finger Lakes
Amazing.
Grassroots Festival here in the Finger Lakes of New York, upstate New York. And this we came to 8 years ago.
Hmm.
We saw a band on stage. We fell in love with them and we put them on our vision board. And we said, we want to play at this festival.
Uh-huh.
And 8 years later, not only are we playing at the festival, Cassie and I have been featured in the band's music video. They've played on our album, and their bassist Joey R. Curry is going to play with us in the festival on the same stage.
That's amazing.
It's the same stage where we saw Lake Street Dive play that first year. This band is called Driftwood, and I just want to give a shout out to them because they've helped pave the way for what's possible.
That's
And
awesome.
when you need to see what else is possible, I look for people like, well, they seem like they've got some peace, or they seem like they're doing well, and
Mhm.
just asking for help, and asking, just sitting down, and it's we've just learned to be a family, and we've learned to ask for what we want.
Yeah.
And inside of that, also, how I'm doing it now at like 41 and running businesses too, is I'm realizing I'm having to get as I'm growing up, I'm getting a lot more clear about protecting my boundaries and protecting my peace of mind. And that
Super
can be
important.
really tricky today. And I think, especially with social media and all the stimulation we have, that it's really important more than ever to learn to protect our own peace and to take care of our needs first. So I thought this might be an interesting topic for us to take on today.
It's funny how life gives us lemons and we seem to know how to make lemonade out of it, don't we, Ben?
We sure do.
I want to really acknowledge though, first of all, like what incredible actualizers, not even manifestors, what incredible actualizers you and Cassie are for not only creating that reality, but creating it and grabbing it by the balls
Mm-hmm.
and really sharing that light that you have to share with everyone in the world in such a beautiful and powerful way. And as you know, I always like to ask, like, what else is possible now, and what else is possible that you haven't considered. And it sounds like one of the things that we want to consider is how to not only increase your capacity, right? You've got all of these amazing things going on with the music, with your acting, with your coaching, all of these aspects of your
Mm-hmm.
life and all these aspects of your business. We've got to make sure, Ben, that we ask for the peace, right? And we've got to make sure that we're asking that we take care of ourselves and that we protect our peace, which is the subject of today, right? So acknowledge first of all what you've created because that's freaking awesome, okay? And just remember that oftentimes when we're talking about manifesting or actualizing, we forget to actualize or manifest for peace. We forget to manifest or actualize for certainty. We forget to actualize that it's easy, right? So we often will go through these spaces, and when we are asking and asking and asking, we forget that we can also ask for it to be peace. We can ask for whatever it is we're going after
Yes.
to just magically unfold for us. We don't trust it, right? We don't trust that we can have such space and such ease without a little bit of chaos.
Or too much hard work, right?
Yeah.
Like this has to
Mhm.
be really hard and really challenging, and we have to climb uphill the whole way. And you
Yeah.
do not need to be Sisyphus in order to achieve peace and success and abundance, and it actually can come with ease. And And I notice that often when I feel abundance coming, I feel like it's a snowball and it
Yeah,
feels like everything's coming at me. I'm just people
absolutely.
asking how I'm doing, and I'm like, oh, I am just feels like there's a giant, massive wave coming in, and
Yeah,
I'm just surfing it. I'm doing my best to stay on.
that's great. That's
Um,
awesome.
but it's also like I notice I'm creating some energy of like some franticness and some intensity that like you said, I just it wasn't until I really sat out in this beautiful place and I was like, oh, I also need to find my peace, and that's going to actually give me more productivity and ease and
Mhm.
success throughout the whole weekend. Is putting the oxygen mask on ourselves first.
I have a question for you. Something just pinged really good. Let's explore it. Could you tell me in your words what peace is? What is peace to
Hmm,
you?
that's a beautiful question. Peace to me is trust. It's
Hmm.
it's faith. It's ease. It's light, and it's love. For me, it's like this. I see this like giant white light, and it just kind of surrounds us like this beautiful blanket. And the feeling inside of that is just that we're taken care of.
Hmm.
There's nowhere else to be,
Hmm.
and like love is the infinite, all-being energy.
Cool. Okay, those are all fantastic, and we're going to manifest for those. I wanted to ask you this as well. All of those things are, let's say, divine. Those are all divine. They're spiritual feelings, or their feelings, or whatever. What would it physically look like in your reality to have peace with all of that? What would be the physical manifestation?
I see myself just sitting in the backyard, already having meditated and just like at one with nature, holding my coffee and already like awake and smiling when the whole band comes up in the morning. Like rather than being like, uh, I'm gonna keep that energy going. I see just smiling faces out in the audience when we're playing. I
Beautiful.
see relaxation inside of the energy. I see people just relaxed and myself grounded and relaxed.
That's amazing. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Because, see, now you've connected a physical experience with what it is emotionally or spiritually,
Mm,
right? And so now, when you incorporate into your manifestations, your visualizations, what if we took that energy and the first thing you did is that when you manifest for these incredible festivals, you see those faces, you see that light, you see all of those things that actually are a reminder that you are protecting your peace,
mm-hmm.
right? So if we can incorporate those things into our manifestations, which you're obviously very, very clearly good at, amazing at, then then we can make sure that we can have it all, and what else is possible that you haven't considered yet. And ask the universe that too, because I have a feeling that there's like some energy that's unfolding in that piece for you that you haven't even figured out yet. We haven't even scratched the surface of it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
that's why I wanted to talk about it. I'm like, I do not have this down. This is
Yeah,
like
totally.
what we're working towards. And yet, I felt so much. One thing that's really cool before the festival, they have something called Culture Camp, and it's 3 days of a lot of the festival organizers teaching themselves, some of the
Hmm.
greatest performers coming teaching on the grounds. And then we all have dinner together at night, and then a band plays, and everyone dances.
Hmm.
It's like Zydeco, it's all like two-step music. So even if you don't know how to dance, you can grab a partner and just dance. Like everyone can waltz, sort of, like down,
Hmm.
up, down, up. And everyone just in the food line, we ran into everyone we've ever known. And I realized it was about cultivating this energy of family. And it's a really special thing that happens because there's also a lot of grief in this land. We're on top of a Native American Indian burial ground.
Yeah.
They recently found that there were some graves that were dug up and it wasn't protected. And there's lives that have been lost here while we were here. But the music is the thing that I realized, like, Cassie was just crying the other day, and she said, "I'm feeling the grief of everyone."
Hmm.
And I said, "But also, what I saw inside that grief," she said, "I've never felt so two strong energies at the same time, so powerfully, like the sadness and the joy." And I
Beautiful.
said, because I think the farmers are the shepherds of the land, but the musicians here are the light workers. The
Hmm.
musicians are connecting all of those feelings and allowing us to move together through it, through dance, through music, through. I mean, this festival has been waiting to happen for 3 years. It's the 30th anniversary,
Wow.
and people have been waiting for 3 years to gather again. And I just wondered if how we can bring that energy to everything. Like we don't have to go through a pandemic for 3 years, but how can we create more of that peace, that connection, that community in our lives everywhere? But we've got to start with ourselves. I know
Absolutely.
if I've been someone who has always reached out for
Hmm.
the solution because I didn't know how to achieve, how to love myself. So I
Hmm.
reached out to other people for love and connection, which can help, but at some point we have to learn how to nurture our own.
That I think is often overlooked, but so simple, and that's asking the question, how can I have more peace? What does it take for me to have more than everything that I do? The trick is for us to not get in the anxiety ridden place of trying to figure out what that looks like. Right? It's not about trying to figure out what peace looks like. It's about asking the universe, being the invitation for that. Just saying, hey, you know what would it be like? What would it taste like? What would it smell like for me to have peace in everything and in all of my interactions and all of my experiences? And I know one of the things that I love about asking these questions, that it always is, it turns out to be the proof that the universe has my back. I mean, it always is that. So thanks for bringing that. I think that's something we really want to consider, you know? I know for me, I'm at home actually with my family. Monday was my mom's birthday, so I came home to celebrate her, and I'm in the
Mm,
house that I grew up in for half of my life. And always coming home to is always something that is both bittersweet, right? Because I love my family very, very much. I love my parents. We're very close. But when you return to a place where you were where experience was so concentrated in your life, right? Where everywhere I turn is a memory from my childhood or from my young adulthood and all of that. There are oftentimes sometimes that I get so overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed. And when you had suggested this topic today, I was looking at myself and looking at how I protect myself in those situations. And I have to say that one of the things that has been kept me grounded and that always keeps me grounded in this process is staying present. Right? Staying present is the most peaceful place we can be, because if we are not present, then all of a sudden we are locked in the past, or we are locked in fear, or we are locked in the future of what hasn't even happened yet. If we're locked in the past, we're only going to keep recreating it and recreating it. And so one of the greatest contributions for me in this particular phase of my life, and remember also, let's just add, we're in the sign of Cancer, so it's super sensitive and super emotional right now, is to have that centeredness and to check in, and literally to check in, like little things like, wow, my coffee tastes so great today, and to follow that presence, like, wow, it's
how'd you
so
know?
nice. How did you I
My
we
coffee's delicious.
we are one, baby, right?
We are.
So keeping that presence, I think, also helps us to maintain peace. Exactly, Brooks.
Presence.
Exactly. We only exist in the present. The past is done and the future's not here yet. So
Mm.
why do we give either of those things any of the attention that we often do?
Oh, God, I love that. Brooksy, I'm so Brooksy Wells is here. She's an amazing musician who's achieved music on the top 10 folk charts like 10 times in her 60s. She's a light worker and healer.
Ah,
I
I
feel
knew
like
I
we
loved
all
you.
definitely need to know each other. She was just on my podcast. So the most recent episode
Hmm.
and the week before was Daniel. So it's
Ah,
no, there are no coincidences. But if you're
I'm.
listening,
Mhm.
check out the episodes of Dude You're Getting Well with Daniel and Brooksy. They're two of the most incredible, powerful, and inspirational healing, full of light episodes, and I just think it's so beautiful that I got to have you all both in the same week.
I'm honored to be in her company. So I just want to acknowledge that. So I look
Oh,
forward to meeting you, Brooksy.
oh.
Yeah.
And so, she said trust and allow, and we only exist in this present moment. Like and you're talking about this too, Daniel, being present. Like literally everything we've worried about, everything depressed from the past is literally behind us, and everything we're worried about in the future, most of which won't happen, and it's all made up. So,
Hmm.
how do you practice being present, Daniel? How do you practice protecting your peace?
I practice presence by, first of all, meditation, as you know, is an essential part of my life. And I practice meditation by presence. And I also practice meditation by engaging with those around me, right? Um, I like to be actively listening to people, and I like to be actively engaged with them. And especially now, I'm with my parents and my auntie, and um we've had like some of the best conversation that we've had ever. Like, and we just sit around and just talk about um our lives and all of it, and we've learned so much about each other. I've known these incredibly powerful beings for 45 years, and I'm just learning things that inspire me. And I think we often get in this space where we think we know someone, or we think that just because they're our sister, our brother, our partner, or whatever, that we already know enough. But if we ask questions, again, I know I sound like a broken record with my questions, but questions are really the place of creation. It's really the place of exploration. And I like to stay grounded with my meditation, and I like to stay curious with my questions, and I like to
Mm,
stay open to the universe for whatever comes my way, and to trust that the universe has my back. That's exactly it. Thank you
oh,
for making me look at what that was that keeps me in peace. I appreciate that, Ben.
you're welcome. And how do you practice trusting that the universe has your back?
How do I practice that? That's a good question. Honestly, Ben, I have to say, I don't, I know that the universe has my back.
Mm.
It's not something that I ever doubt. I used to doubt it, and I used to play wicked games with the universe and test it.
Of course
And
you did.
of course I did. I really really tested it, and she always showed up for me. So we're in a good place.
Well, there's people who feel like the universe doesn't have their back, and so one of the things
Hmm.
I heard in your sharing is ask, like, what if the universe had your back? If you've been in
Yeah.
the energy of the universe does not have my back, consider that's exactly what's showing up. That's the evidence that you're creating. So,
Right.
if you created, what if the universe does have my back in all aspects of my life?
Yeah.
What would that be like this week? And could you just like be in that inquiry this week? And
And,
not need to
and
have answers, but just be surprised, be open.
be surprised, be open, and then catch it. That's the other thing. Thank you so
Mm.
much for that, because when you catch it, all of a sudden you're giving gratitude. You're like, oh my God, the universe has my back. Wow. I'm so grateful for that. And every second that you turn, oh my God, I'm so grateful for that. Wow. Oh my God, I'm so grateful for that. Right. And that's such an incredible blessing.
Oh, and Stafford asked a great question here. He said, "But why do I have to fall so far?"
You don't, Stafford.
And
Amazing,
that's what I
amazing
was asking
ask.
too. Yes.
Amazing ask, my friend. You do not have to. We have bought into this lie that we have to fall in order for us to know that the universe has our back. But that is a belief, Stafford.
Yep.
So, what if instead you actually switched that and said, what will it take for me to know that the universe has my back no matter what? Right? The universe has my back no matter what. And we often don't acknowledge when the universe has our back when things are good, right? When things are easy, when things are fun, when things are light, when things are just moving, we don't acknowledge that the universe has our back. When we start to acknowledge the universe having our back in those moments, guess what's going to happen? The universe is going to give us more of those
Right.
moments.
Right. I used to always say I had to learn the hard way, but you know
Yeah.
what? I don't. And I told myself that, and so that's how I learned. But I've
Yeah.
started learning not that by asking. Um, and on that, I've got to run because we're going to go put the band in motion. the wheel.
Amazing.
Ask and receive more abundance today and protect my peace. So,
Ben,
Lord,
can we,
for me,
1 second, really quick. 1 second, really quick. The human resolve, this gentleman, how do you come to terms when the universe challenges you? Actually ask again, when the universe challenges you, ask, what am I getting from this that is going to contribute to me knowing my power and knowing my strength? When you take the resistance off of it and you change it into allowance, it will flow. It will flow, my friend. Thank you for asking that question.
That's a beautiful question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Ben. I know you got to go.
No, I appreciate it. No, it's good. It's good. This is
Yeah.
why we're here. And,
Yeah, of course.
thank you all so much for being a part of this conversation. We're going to be here the same time, same place next week.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be with you all. If this resonated, share it with someone in your life. Please comment and share so that we can move the algorithms of positivity and love beyond. And if no one told you they love you, we love you.
We love you. We love you, and we're so grateful for you. Thank you so
wanna
much,
hear
guys.
more, please check out our podcast, Wake Up Wednesdays with Ben Curtis and Daniel Tuttle. You may have to Google our names to find that, but it's there everywhere you listen to podcasts. We'd love to have you. And if you anything you want to hear about or ask us, send us a message.
Absolutely. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. Ben, I love you. I appreciate you. Congratulations on everything. And how does it get even better? Bye, guys.
Bye. Mwah.
Mwah.